that the earliest copyists were the least qualified copyists. What about the copyists who were copying earlier than the surviving copyists? Are we to believe that all of a sudden they were virtually perfect? I don't think so. I think that in fact they probably changed their manuscripts a lot. What's the evidence? The surviving early manuscripts differ a lot. James came up with a very strange statistic that I don't understand, where he said that there's some kind of 95% agreement at different ends of the spectrum, so that virtually we're certain about the entire text of the New Testament. I don't know if James has ever actually looked at manuscripts before, but I can tell you that it isn't that simple. When people try to classify manuscripts, to group them together, so that you've got 1,000 manuscripts, and you want to know which manuscripts are most like other manuscripts, you compare them all with one another. If manuscripts agree in 70% of their variations, you count that as extremely high, because it doesn't happen very often. The final 2 minutes and 20 seconds with the issue that he really does want to talk about, the issue of preservation. He thinks that the point of my book, Misquoting Jesus, is that God did not preserve the text, therefore God did not inspire the text. That is not the point of my book. It is not the point of any of the major chapters of my book. It is simply the point that I begin and end the book with to explain why this matters to me personally. It matters to me personally. There are scholars who disagree, but it's not the main point of the book at all, as you'll see if you simply read the chapters where I don't even mention the issue. I found his discussion of preservation to be convoluted and obscure, and I didn't really understand it, so let me put it to you in simple terms and see if this makes sense. This is the way I look at it. If God did inspire the words of the Bible to make sure that the human authors wrote what he wanted to be written, that's the doctrine of inspiration, why did he not preserve the words of the Bible? Making sure that the human scribes who copied the text wrote what he wanted to be written. James replies, well, they didn't have photocopy machines. I know they didn't have photocopy machines, but if God can inspire people to write his text, why can't he inspire people to preserve his text? I don't know the answer to that. If you want to say that God inspired the Bible, which Bible did he inspire? The one that you read in English? The Greek manuscripts on which it is based? Which Greek manuscripts? All of them are different from one another. Which ones did he inspire? Were they all inspired? So that the different versions of Jesus' words in all these manuscripts, even though they're all different, they're all inspired? How would you know which words are inspired if you don't know which words are originally in the Bible? I don't have good answers for that. These are the reasons I gave up my view of inspiration, but it's not the point of misquoting Jesus, and it's not really the subject of the debate. The debate is, does the Bible misquote Jesus? And I'm afraid the answer is yes.